Jurgens, who joins us from Innsbruck, Austria. Good to have you back with us, Klaus. The Europol 2022 report I'm referring to was released in July. It's known as the European Union Terrorism Situation and Trend Report. It clearly identifies that the PKK's activities in Europe continue to be a threat. Why is it then authorities in Europe aren't clamping down on this terror group on its continent?
Thanks for being back indeed. Yes, this is the biggest worry or concern I have. Now, the German intelligence agency, in its recent report, as you mentioned, stated that 14,500 known sympathizers of the PKK, I add by now /YPG terror organization, are active. Maybe not active every day, but they are known sympathizers, ready to strike at any moment, as we have seen in Paris. Now, I think it is a double-faced situation, you know. It is, on the one hand, they say, yes, we would support Turkey in whatever way possible. We know there is a terror situation, you are exposed, it is the geopolitical situation. Then at the same time, when PKK supporters proudly wave the flags of the leader, as they call him, the terrorist leader, Öcalan, and happily congregate in the middle of our city centers, from Vienna to Berlin to Brussels to Paris and London recently too. And apparently, after I evaluated the events in Paris now, the police somehow took a lukewarm approach. There were some clashes basically, but the clashes were basically not that serious, and as if freedom fighters would parade through the 10th arrondissement in Paris and saying, we are the good ones, you are the bad ones. Now, second big worry, if I still have a minute now, the using an attack at a cultural center by saying that basically the person who did this, no one cares, none of our concern. But as usual, it is the Republic of Turkey who is not taking good care of citizens of Kurdish origin, which is the absolute fake news, already 2023 fake news 4.0. The problem in Europe, I see, governments, mainstream media, educators, everyone must wake up to the fact that this is a wake-up call. The PKK is no Turkey problem. The PKK is a global terror clan ready to strike at any moment if they think there is a good cause to defend their bad cause. It is sad, alarming, but I hope it is a wake-up call, as I said, from Berlin to Brussels to Paris to London to everywhere. Yes, right. Maybe I'm over my optimism.
Yes, and Klaus, we know all of this is happening as Turkey's NATO allies are essentially expecting Ankara to rubber stamp the inclusion of Sweden and Finland into NATO, despite Ankara's many concerns about PKK activities in those two countries, especially in Sweden. Do you believe that perhaps Turkey's NATO allies might consider Ankara's concerns more seriously now, given the fact, as you say, the PKK in Europe continues to be a threat to the country?
I think so. Yes, I hope so. Unfortunately, it is quite some time. I was talking about colleagues as well, writing about that one day the terror network, because they can no longer attack Turkey, because Turkey has a very proactive stance and ultimately will erase the PKK on its soil and across its borders. But Europe gave a safe haven to so many of them. They continue money laundering, as you said, drug and human trafficking, you know, money asked from restaurants to basically stay in business, if not you have a trouble. And they are active on European soil. Now, I think the NATO membership bit of Sweden / to a slighter concern perhaps Finland has to be based on very clear points. It can't be rushed through. Sweden, and the new Swedish government in particular, must come of age and say, look, we do understand that terror is not your problem, it is a global problem, and we must fight it together. You did what you could, and now we must help you, that the terrorists who are hiding on our soil cannot stage terror attacks back in Turkey, but sadly Paris has shown can stage terror attacks on our soil too. It is really like 5 minutes to 12. I would almost say 5 minutes past 12.
Okay, Klaus Jurgens, we will have to leave it there, but really good to get your analysis on the program as always. Thank you.